How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today was Green Bay Packers day 2 of OTAs. Well, at least day 2 that is open to the media. They've been doing OTA practices for the last couple of weeks now, but this was the second session that was open to the media. So that means we have some highlights from the warm-up session from today's practice to react to and break down. If you're new to this channel, I do this sort of thing every single day the Packers practice and it's open to the media. I'll show highlights on my channel and then also break down the practice and what happened in the practice, which I'll be making a video on that just after this one, so be on the lookout for that one as well. So if you are new to the channel and you like that sort of thing and you're a Green Bay Packers fan and you want more Packers news, analysis, and updates almost every single day, I'd really consider going down, clicking that subscribe button, and then also leaving a like on this video. It supports my channel a ton. All right, so without further ado, let's waste no more time and bring up the screen here and start with the highlights from the warm-up session of practice today. And this isn't really a highlight, but it's mainly just showing Rashawn Gary in the background here walking around. You can't record players rehabbing, but this was before that, so they got a clip of him at least walking across the field, which is still really good to see. I think he's only a little over 5 months, maybe almost 6 months since that torn ACL. To see him even on the field like this, I think is very promising. I put out a video yesterday where a sports doctor on Twitter basically said he has a high chance to potentially play week 1. And that would be pretty crazy because that would be right around 10 months from ACL tear to returning. Yes, Elton Jenkins did it earlier than that last year, but it's a little bit different there for an edge player to do that than a tackle slash guard. But he's looking really good. To see him at least on the field during OTAs, right? He's still at least rehabbing and he's starting to move around, and it's still only May. Well, we'll consider it June at this point. So going to be very interesting to see how he progresses even further going into training camp and then preseason, and if we end up seeing him week 1 or if they end up holding him out until he's 100%, maybe until after the bye week. I think, you know, that could be the case as well. Here we have some clips of the wide receivers and quarterbacks running some deep slants here. The first one, Jordan Love to Christian Watson, a little bit behind him out of his frame. He does drop that ball, but should have caught it. This one we have Sean Clifford throwing to Jayden Reed. Got a few clips of Jayden Reed today, which is nice. Really hype about him. The second round draft pick out of MSU. Then here we have Jordan Love throwing to undrafted free agent wide receiver Deuce Watts on the same quick slant. Here's another Jordan Love just throwing a quick pass to Tyler Davis on that outside here. The Packers, I would consider him a 4th string tight end at this point. Then we have the same thing here, Jordan Love to tight end Austin Allen. Simple just warm-ups during the beginning portion of today's practice. Then here a pass to fullback Henry Pearson, also an undrafted free agent. Now here we have a little bit of a hype clip. It's a deep post, Jordan Love to Christian Watson off of play action. Nice rainbow of a ball here. Deep post to Christian Watson, kind of running at half speed, and there's no pads on, just helmets, but still nonetheless still a hype clip to see Jordan Love throwing to Christian Watson, who's going to be their #1 wide receiver going into the season, and I expect big things from Christian Watson in year 2. I think he will step up to the plate, being the Green Bay Packers' #1 wide receiver, but also the other wide receivers will have to step up as well to kind of take the eyes off of Christian Watson being that premier deep threat #1 wide receiver that he's going to be for the Green Bay Packers. Romeo Doubs going into year 2, Samori Toure going into year 2, and then of course the receivers, the 3 receivers they drafted this year with Jayden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, and Grant DuBose. Mentioning Grant DuBose and Dontavian Wicks, or Tay Wicks, I think he likes to be called, they were absent at today's practice. And since we're on the subject, here's another clip of Jordan Love throwing to Christian Watson. This one's going to be a corner route by Christian Watson here and thrown by Jordan Love, tight roping up the sideline, staying on his feet, keeping his balance up the sideline. I'm excited for this connection. I know I keep saying it, but to see them early on in OTAs, you know, starting to build that rapport, I'm super excited about that. Obviously, us Packers fans know the troubles we went through with Aaron Rodgers not really showing up to OTAs later in his career, where the Packers got a lot of new talent in that wide receiver room, and it seemed like it took a long time for them to get on the same page. So it's really nice seeing this in voluntary practices, Jordan Love throwing to what will be his top receiver for this offense for this upcoming season, and I'm so excited for them too. So really nice to see them, you know, getting on the same page here and starting to build that rapport. Here we have a clip of Jayden Reed and Sean Clifford, and man, Jayden Reed just makes everything look so smooth. I am so excited about Jayden Reed, and if you haven't seen it already, I made a video going over his college tape. I would highly suggest go watching that to show you guys what Jayden Reed will be on this Packers football team and what kind of wide receiver he is. And, you know, I've said it multiple times, I didn't know much about him when the Packers drafted him. I was kind of shocked at that point because the size, and he didn't really fit the Packers threshold. But going back into it after the draft pick, doing my research on Jayden Reed and actually watching his tape, I am super excited for Jayden Reed. I think he will add a lot to this offense. He'll come in, could be your day one starter at slot wide receiver, and can do way more than that. Can play outside as well, can be your jet motion guy, which I think the Packers will start to use him in as early as week 1. Super excited for Jayden Reed, and I think he'll fit into this offense very early and will get snaps very early. Another player that's going to be super interesting to watch is tight end Luke Musgrave, and man, this guy, yes, again, no pads, but he looks fast. I mean, a 6'6", 255-pound tight end shouldn't be able to move like this. Again, yes, there's no pads, so you can't take too much out of this. When the pads come on, he starts doing this maybe in preseason games, then lift off. Then we have the hype train in full speed. But still, Luke Musgrave, you bought into the potential when you drafted him in the second round. There wasn't much production in college, not much experience in college. He had a couple years with injury and not really utilized too much in the offense at Oregon State. But what you can't deny is his athleticism and his measurables. He had an extremely high RAS. He's extremely tall, and he shows a lot of speed for his height and weight. As you can see here, the ball thrown behind him, I believe by Danny Etling, but he still, has great body control to twist his body all the way back around, reach out of his frame and grab that ball while in midair pretty much, and all seamlessly do it while getting upfield. It's a deep post here, but poorly thrown ball. But Luke Musgrave makes easy work of it. Yes, again, it's just OTAs, so we got a long way to go. I believe Tucker Kraft wasn't practicing today, so nice to see some clips of Luke Musgrave here. I'm super excited for him too. I thought that was a really nice pick in the second round, along with Jayden Reed, adding two really nice players into this offense. Here we have a clip of wide receiver Samori Toure doing an inside release to a post corner. Looks really nice on that route as well. I know Packers wide receiver coach Jason Vrabel has been speaking very highly of Samori Toure, saying this is the best he's ever looked. I think he put on 10 to 15 pounds and just looks a lot more lean and quick and strong. So I'm super excited for Samori Toure too. If you guys have been a part of my channel for the past year, you know I was super high on him when the Packers drafted him, and I thought he was extremely underrated for that 7th round pick. Also made a film video on him, and if you even want to go back and watch that, I think it's still relevant because I think Samori Toure 100% has a place on this team. And honestly, I see him as a roster lock, and I could see him getting snaps early as well. Say if Jayden Reed isn't fully ready to be bought into the system week 1, I could see Samori Toure getting some slot snaps as well, because I think that's what he translates to as a slot wide receiver, but has some versatility. So super excited for Samori Toure. Nice to see some clips of Samori here in practice. Here's another clip of Jayden Reed just running a quick slant. So nothing crazy here, but he just makes it look so smooth and so seamless, and that's exactly the type of player he is. Just a very technical wide receiver. So yeah, he just makes it look super smooth here. And finally, we have a clip of Lucas Van Ness. Not much clips of defense today, but that's fine. I like seeing offensive clips. A little bit of a slow-mo from the Packers Twitter account here of Lucas Van Ness. This man is a monster of a human, and I know last media portion open OTAs, Lucas Van Ness did really well, and he also did really well today. So he's living up to what he's advertised as, an athletic edge with versatility, a monster of a human, super athletic, super strong. And he's going to have to be, step up to the plate really early, because even if Rashawn Gary comes back week 1, he's going to be on a pitch count. He's not going to play the 65% of snaps that he's used to seeing when he's fully healthy. So Lucas Van Ness is going to see snaps very early, and he's going to have to play on that starting defense very early. I think Kingsley Enagbare and Preston Smith will be the 2 starting edge guys week 1, but I think Lucas Van Ness will see snaps as early as the 1st or 2nd drive, because they're going to be rotating those guys in and out, including Justin Hollins, and then whoever else makes the team, maybe someone like Brenton Cox Jr. But I love that pick at 13. I think he offers a lot of potential in that edge room and will become one of the better edge rushers in the NFL, in my opinion. I think this guy has it, and if he puts it all together and is coached well and is able to play alongside someone like Rashawn Gary, that's going to be super dangerous. But that does it for all the clips we have from day 2 of Packers OTAs open to the media. I believe there's another session open to the media on June 6th, which is next Tuesday, so be on the lookout for that day as well. And like I said, I'll be making a video right after this going over the 11v11 portions of today's practice, which cannot be filmed, so that's why we don't have any clips from that, sadly. But I'll be making a video, everything that went down in today's practice, so be on the lookout for that. And like I said, if you're new here, go down, click the subscribe button, be a part of the channel and the community, and also leave a like on the video. But that about does it for this video. I appreciate everyone coming by and watching. I'll catch you on the next one, and as always, go Pack Go.